Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Live from Ventura County. I'm at my brother's house. We are dealing with Labor Day weekend. Rideshare Professor put a huge shout out to shut your apps down on the 31st, which is Monday. And now there's an even better reason. So I'm not going to really get into the comments too much. I'm going to do this video and then we'll see what happens. I can always re-edit it later. But I just got this and you guys are going to want to see it. So let's begin. It says, Uber reneges on the flexibility it gave drivers to win their support for Prop 22. Surprise! I didn't think they could do that. I didn't think that would even be legal at this point because, well, you know what? Let's just go with this. Last year, the ride-hailing service Uber gave its drivers unprecedented control over their fares and working conditions. The goal was to win drivers' support for Prop 22, through which Uber and other gig companies aimed to rewrite California labor law in the company's favor. We already know that. The firm's pitch was that the ballot measure would preserve the flexibility and hours and earnings that their workers valued, and that they said would be threatened unless the labor law was changed. So basically, they sold Prop 22 to drivers with drivers having the assumption that if Prop 22 passed, obviously we would keep our flexibility, but we would also be able to keep our fare multiplier in California and set our own rates and so on and so forth. Well, we already know they've taken away the fare multiplier. We already know that they've cut the per mile and per minute rates in California. We already know that they've cut the surge in California. So now they're taking away flexibility, which means what? They're going to schedule drivers. So let's continue. Uber's new options seem to make that flexibility more real. The company gave drivers more latitude to set their own fares and more visibility into the trips they were offered before deciding whether or not to accept them. Proposition 22 was passed by an overwhelming margin in the November election. Since then, some drivers say Uber has taken the flexibility option away and even cut the driver's income on many trips. They've cut the driver's income across the board. So, continuing. A lot of drivers were very gung-ho about Prop 22, says Tony Etzeval. Hope I didn't butcher your name, Tony. Or Tanjay, who has driven for Uber in the San Diego area for 5 years. Now they feel completely deceived. A storm is coming. Uber says it removed the flexibility options because they led drivers to refusing more trips, which lengthened riders' waiting time and prompted would-be riders to cancel their requests. I gotta call bullshit on that because riders are still out there and they're still using Uber. Pickup times for drivers in California have increased by 56%, the company told me by email. Ending the driver's ability to set their own fares is designed to resolve that issue. I gotta call bullshit on that. Let me say that again. Ending the driver's ability to set their own fares is designed to resolve the issue. Well, Dara, if you want to know why you got less and less and less and less drivers, is because you keep taking more and more and more and more away from drivers. If you're a new driver and you're watching this or you're even contemplating signing up with Uber, don't do it, especially now. If you get an incentive like they have in Florida where you can sign on, do 100 rides for $6,000, do it. When you hit ride 101, take it, complete it, cancel it, get your money, and run to the hills. So, the discontent over Uber's practices has erupted just as the company and fellow gig operators are trying to replicate their Proposition 22 success elsewhere in the U.S. It also comes as chief executives of Uber and Lyft are expressing concern that too few drivers are coming back on the road as the pandemic eases and passenger volumes pick up, resulting in longer wait times for passengers and more discontent. Right back to square one. You took away the multiplier in California. You're taking away now, you're threatening to take away our ability to be flexible. So, meaning you're going to start setting drivers on schedules, which isn't going to help. You've lowered the fare, the sticky surge in California, and I did a video on that by 50%, and in some cases even more. And you expect drivers to come back. Again, you keep taking and taking and taking and taking and spatting out all these lies, and yet you want drivers to come back on the platform. It's completely stupid. It's non-ethical. It's it's not even good business practice. I mean, come on, Dara, take your head out of your ass, or whoever's ass you got it stuffed up, and take a look. So let's move on. We have not seen driver supply keep up with the demand growth in the United States. Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi said this week at a JP Morgan Investors Conference, calling the issue something we're still working on. No, call it what it is. Call it an issue that you keep taking away drivers' abilities to make money. You're charging the passengers more. I wonder if that's why they're not actually taking Uber, because maybe you're charging them too much. And on the flip side, since you keep taking pay away from drivers, well, it's a double-edged sword. Passengers aren't stupid, and drivers have had it. So at this point, passengers are going, wow, I'm paying $50 for this trip, and a driver is looking at it going, wow, I'm only going to make $3 on this, and Uber's taking 80% of my fare. So, continuing. Lyft executives raised the same alarm during a Wall Street conference call after the firm released its first quarter financial results on May 4th. Driver advocates have greeted these remarks skeptically, noting that the firms could attract more drivers quickly by improving their pay. There you have it. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You want more drivers? Pay them better. You sold California drivers on Prop 22 with the ability to set our own rates and all that wonderful stuff, and drivers were very happy with that. And then you took that all away, and drivers walked. The pandemic caused drivers to walk. Then you turned around and started manipulating the surge. Hi, Melody. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Haven't done a live in a long time. So, again, just got back from the movie. Well, I hope this live isn't as long as a movie, but thank you for stopping by. So, let me go back because Melody threw me here. Driver advocates have greeted these remarks skeptically, noting that the firms could attract more drivers quickly by improving their pay. Well, again, you've raised the fare for passengers. You're taking almost 80% of what the drivers are making in California. And again, you've taken away our fare multiplier, the ability to set our own rates. You've even cut drivers' rates in California. And actually, I just checked because I'm in Ventura County. I can see their rate card. You've cut Ventura County's rates by almost 30 cents a mile. And it's just, take, and overcharge the customers, but you still are pinning it on the drivers. So let's continue. Dara is whining about a lack of drivers, but he controls what we're paid, says Nicole Moore, a board member of Rideshare Drivers United, a Los Angeles-based drivers association. He has the ability to move the dial and put a lot more drivers on the street. And I have to agree with that. So let's go back to what I was saying earlier in the stream. California drivers were sold on Prop 22 under the presumption or the smoke and mirrors that if Prop 22 passed, we would be able to keep our multiplier, be able to set our own rates, and work, the schedules that we wanted to work. And you took that all away, and then you started cutting rates, and then you started cutting surge amounts, and you started charging passengers more. And I did a video on that, and if you want to take a look at it, it's really good. It's Uber is ripping off passengers, and then if you want to check out the other video, it's Uber is manipulating the search. We got the mighty Lindo. What's up? How you doing, Jordan? Thanks for jumping in. Um, oh, Mel, I've seen you in the background, and I haven't been. Been. That's cool. Thank you. You're a lucky man. She's awesome. She's really helped me out with my channel, and getting off topic here, but she is a really good friend. She's a great, wonderful supporter and promoter of my channel. So, Jordan, thank you very much for joining. And also, you've got a wonderful wife. My wife and I just recently donated a little bit of money for the causes that you guys promote for the children, and we're all about that. So you've got our support 100%, as much as we can help. So let me continue on with the live stream. But pleasure, and thank you for joining in. So Dara is whining about a lack of drivers, but he controls what we're paid, says Nicole Moore, a board member of Rideshare Drivers United, Los Angeles-based Drivers Association. He has the ability to move the dial and put a lot more drivers on the street. Driving with Diva J, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. New here, stop by because of the talk of Uber. Yeah, you might want to go back about 10 minutes. I just got this on my phone. I'm sorry. I know it's really bright in here, and you're not gonna be able to see the text, but I just got this. I'm in Camarillo in Ventura County with family. We're taking the weekend off. Rideshare Professor is calling for a complete app shutdown on Monday, which is Memorial Day, and I'm not working Monday. So thanks, Melody. I really appreciate that. I'm watching, and I had a problem with my watch hours too, but Driver Sensei, I let him jump into my computer and check out my YouTube, and he was able to correct a lot of things. So hopefully I'm getting really close to that other milestone. So anyway, let me continue with this, please, and I'll be right back with you. So an issue nationwide is the distinction between employees and independent contractors. Now, that's a good point, because again, Prop 22 was supposed to make us independent contractors, and again, we were sold on all these different smoke and mirrors tactics. Now, all those advantages or things that we were given in order to make a decent profit off of doing this have all been taken away, and now we're being threatened with the fact that they're going to even take away our flexibility. I don't even think that's legal. I don't know how you can take away drivers' flexibility and start scheduling drivers if Prop 22 says we're independent contractors and gives us flexibility. So let's continue on with the article. Businesses must grant numerous benefits to the first group, including government designated minimum wages and limits on hours without overtime pay, unemployment, and workers' compensation benefits, the right to organize and affiliate with unions, and reimbursement for job-related expenses. In most cases, independent contractors don't receive those benefits. We get some righteous tax write-offs, and I personally don't need medical because my wife's medical takes care of that. Workers at Uber and other gig companies typically perform work that would normally be considered that of employees. It's central to the company's business models, perform to standards the company set. It's central to the company's business models. So when Dara Khosrow Shahi says drivers are not the backbone of Uber, he's full of shit, and it says it right here in writing. It's central to the company's business model, which is the drivers. So, continuing. But when California codified labor rules to mandate that such workers receive all the benefits of employees, Uber, Lyft, and other gig companies drafted Proposition 22 to exempt their drivers, delivery workers, and others on from the employment rules and allow them to be classified as independent contractors. After the campaign, which the company spent more than $200 million, it's actually $220 million. It was the most expensive ballot in California history. A huge part of their Proposition 22 campaign was to get drivers on their side. says Vina Dubal, a labor law expert at University of California's Hastings College of the Law and a critic of Uber and Lyft. So they rolled out these things they knew that drivers would be excited about and would make them feel independent. And of course, they've thrown them away. That's says it all. Hey, what's up, Aaron? Thanks for jumping in. Abstract Echo is in the house. What is up, AE? How you doing, my friend? Aaron, thanks for jumping in on the stream also. So let's go away. Let's keep going. The independent contractor classification has come under fire from the Biden administration. In a lot of cases, gig workers should be classified as employees. These companies are making profits and revenue, but we also want to make sure that the success trickles down to the worker. Actually, the major public gig companies are unprofitable despite sticking their workers with expenses. Uber lost $6.8 billion on revenue of $11.1 billion last year, and Lyft, which is less than 1/5 Uber size, lost $1.75 billion. Who gives a shit? You guys deserve to lose money. You keep taking it from us, and you're not. You just your business practices are unethical and that of a kindergartner. So, continuing. Early in May, the agency revoked a Trump administration rule that would have allowed gig companies more latitude to classify their workers as independent contractors. The rule had been announced just before Trump left office and never went into effect. The agency's acting wage and hour regulator, Jessica Lumen, said in connection with the revocation that misclassification of employees as independent contractors presents one of the most serious problems facing workers today. We are committed to continuing to combat misclassification, and we're particularly focused in sectors where we know workers are vulnerable and violations are rampant. Lumen didn't identify those sectors, but Uber is among the largest, if not the largest, employer of independent contractors. Biden is expected to nominate David Weil, who is the chief of the wage and hour division under President Obama. And Uber and Lyft are clearly employers. Weil, then at Brandeis University, wrote, If required to classify their drivers as employees, Weil wrote, they would have to figure out how to comply with workplace laws and like the minimum wage, provide certain baseline protections like unemployment insurance and workers' compensation, and collect and pay state and federal payroll taxes. In other words, they would have to do what millions of other businesses do every day. Since the November election, the firms have been negotiating with the state legislatures in New York to promote a bill that would grant gig workers the right to organize and join unions, allow them to engage in collective bargaining with the gig industry, and render them eligible for unemployment insurance and workers' compensation. But the measure would stop short of granting the workers full rights and employees. Support for the bill has been waning since organized labor took a closer look at its terms. They discovered that it would bar workers from striking or taking away any other job action and forbid local governments from imposing a minimum wage for gig workers. This is a really long article. I'm sorry. So maybe I won't stay live that long. Did you get your tattoo that says, I love Gorn's chicken? It's finished. Emergency medical services, semper paratus, which means always ready, so others may live. I did get it finished. I think it may say orange chicken somewhere in there. I'm not sure. And my wife likes orange chicken, so I'm the teriyaki guy. So anyway, I don't want to make this live stream too long. I'll probably do a video, but like I said, and this is from the LA Times. This is today. So if you're just joining, Uber, I mean, this thing is like pages long, but Uber reneges on the flexibility it gave drivers to win support for Prop 22. So again, if you're just joining, Uber sold Prop 22 to drivers under the assumption that we would have, at least in California, that we would have the ability to set our own rates, i.e. the multiplier, and have our flexibility, which has always been the biggest selling point of driving for Lyft or Uber or DoorDash or any of these other companies, because we could sign on when we wanted to and we could sign off when we wanted to. Now the problem is Dara Khosrow Shahi, Uber's chief executive idiot, or Uber's number one asshole, as I put in one of my videos, is taking all that away from its drivers. Hang on a second. So it's just dumbfounding to me that this guy is he can't be that stupid, and he can't be that ignorant. However, he can be that greedy and that arrogant. So again, I wanted to put this out there, but Uber is, and now I don't know if this is just in California. It's from the LA Times, so I'm assuming that it's probably California based right now. But if it's going to happen here in California, it's gonna be like the pandemic. It's going to spread like wildfire, and Uber is going to start saying, you know what, we're going to start setting schedules for everybody. Let's see. What does AE say here? Prop 22 was a huge smoke and mirrors along with bait and switch campaign. Yeah, you know what, Echo, I absolutely agree. And I I'm a former business owner, and it got me. I mean, I I was more pro Prop 22 than I was pro AB5, and I'm not going to tell you which way I went with that, but I like being an independent contractor. I like being able to set my own times when I can work. It works great around my wife's schedule, around my family schedule. I can. I'm up in Ventura right now, and I can go online right now if I want to. And that's another thing. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll have to turn the lights off maybe. Let me minimize this. I'm going to go to the Uber app. Now, mind you, I'm in Camarillo, which is just a little bit northwest of Thousand Oaks. And I'm going to turn on my Uber app, and I'm going to show you guys the surge. Now, mind you, Camarillo and this area north of Calabasas, Oxnard, Ventura, is not like LA. It's I mean, everything is like highways, but it is a more affluent area. And I don't know if you can see this surge, but there you go. $2. $2. When I was out here, the last time I drove out here, I drove for 4 hours and made $360 in 4 hours. They have $2 surges there and there. And those surges are 15 miles apart. So I don't know how drivers out here in Ventura County, I mean, are doing it. Now, if we go over the hill into Thousand Oaks, which is about 12 miles behind me, they have one area which is Newberry Park, and they have a $13 surge. But that's it. Oh, looks like a $5 surge just popped up. But I mean, there is no surge out here, and it's 10 o'clock. It'll be interesting to see what happens at midnight. So let me see. I'm sorry, Echo. Let's see. You know what? I agree with you, Echo. And we're all in California. We're all feeling it. We got we got we put our necks in the news. I just don't understand how they can continue to do what they're doing and get away with it. But I am 100% on board with Rideshare Professor Torsten. I am not, well, I'm not working this weekend, period. Even if I was working, I'd still be on board, but I am not working on Memorial Day. My dad was a Marine, and I'm very proud of that. To be brought up by a person with a stature like that. He was a police officer for 37 years. He was an awesome man, and I am going to take Memorial Day to remember all of the people that are in the armed forces, even Driver Sensei, everybody that's watching our channels, everybody that served our country, and everybody that's given us the right to do this. Um, thank you very much. But unfortunately, there are those who are going to take advantage of all these wonderful things that Memorial Day is supposed to be reflected upon. And Dara Khosrowshahi is one of those self-absorbed pieces of shit who doesn't care about anything but himself and making that dollar. And all he's doing is he's burning. He's literally in the middle of a bridge and he's lit a fire on both ends, and he's got nowhere to go. I mean, he can continue to take what he wants to take, and and drivers are going to continue to walk away. I've got plans, and if everything works out by the end of July, I'm done. I'm not, I mean, I'm not driving that much anymore anyway. I usually, instead of driving, Monday through Friday, I'm actually only driving on Friday nights and an occasional Saturday, just because, it's nice to take a trip down to the beach and work that area. Rideshare Professor knows Santa Monica, Marina Del Rey, and Century City and Beverly Hills, West Hollywood. He knows that area like the back of his hand. And he even the professor has seen major cuts in that area, and he's worked that a long time. So, I wanted to get this out. I wanted to start a video on it, and I will actually do a edited video, maybe this weekend or sometime next week. But again, like I said, Uber is, well, I don't know if you can read it, but there it is. Uber, I can't read it. I'm sorry. Reneges on its flexibility under Prop 22. So I wanted to get the video out. If you're a driver and you see this, do me a favor. Share this out. Share it out on Facebook. Share it out on Twitter. Share it out on your Facebook groups, rideshare groups, what have you. I'm going to end the live stream now. My wife and my brother and his wife are out hanging out, having a good time, and I'm sitting in here doing a video, doing a live stream about how Dara Khosrowshahi is once again sticking it to drivers. And it's not just in California, it's everywhere. So again, I wanted to throw it out there. I'm sure by tomorrow morning there's going to be a lot more videos. I'm sure Chris at Real Rideshare Stories, Rideshare Professor, Dark Road Run, Dustin is driving. All the big players, big. I'm just a small fish in a big pond. I'm sure this will be all over YouTube tomorrow with a lot more detail. The Brazil show, how you doing? That's a good one. How would you say that? Dara Cockroach Shahi. I like that. You know what? Since you're in my live stream, I'm gonna steal that. So it's not it's not Dara Khosrowshahi. It's Dara Cockroach Shahi. I like that. That is beautiful. That is awesome. You know what? I might even have to change the title of this live after it's done processing through YouTube to that. That is awesome, Brazil show. Thank you very much. There you go, Cockroach Shahi. I'm gonna use that. I'm giving you guys thumbs up for that. That is beautiful. So anyway, again, I just wanted to put that out there, everybody. Abstract Echo. Thanks for jumping in again. Let me go back to the chat and see. Aaron again. Yeah, no chicken. Driving with Diva J. Oh, that's right. That's Melanie's husband. Thank you, Brazil show. The Brazil show gave me the thumbs up to use their Dara Cockroach Shahi. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. If you guys haven't checked out the Brazil show, check out their channel and show them some support. Just that's how we're supposed to do it. We all support each other, and it seems like we've got a really good community here, and we all seem to back each other up. So so anyway, guys, I wanted to put that out there, and I'm sure by tomorrow if and if Dustin is driving or a rideshare professor sees this, I guarantee you that this is going to flood YouTube tomorrow, because this is really, really, Dara's complaining, Uber's complaining that it has a shortage of drivers, and then they take away all this stuff, and drivers are like, well, I can't even afford to drive for that, and now he's bitching that there's still not enough drivers, and they're going to take away our flexibility, even though it was a vote, it was voted into law, and now you're going to take that away, and you're going to break that law too. What do you expect? You're going to get more drivers to leave. So your percentage of drivers is about the size of your penis. It's like that big. You just So, Dara, you're digging your own grave. You can turn this whole thing around very simply. Give drivers what they had when you were trying to sell us on Prop 22. Pay the drivers more, you'll get more drivers back. Give us the ability to set our own rates, you'll get more drivers back. Pay more per mile and per minute, and you'll get more drivers back. Start treating the drivers with respect, because they are the core of your business, and you'll get more drivers back. Keep screwing us, and we're going to turn around, and we're going to tie you up, and every single driver is going to have a turn at you. You are just an arrogant piece of shit, and I personally, I hope you go under. I hope Uber just falls flat on his face and blows up into flames. Don't care. There's other gigs and other businesses out there that would love to take your place. So let's see what Echo says. Abstract Echo makes a good point. Rideshare needs more competition that will force Uber and Lyft to raise the bar. But you're right. It'll probably be too late, or it's going to be after they go down, and then there's going to be this lull. Somebody's going to jump in. At the Brazil show, there was a startup company that was trying to start up out here in California. I remember hearing about it on Torsten's channel, the Rideshare Professor, and I guess it just never. I don't know if it was Alto. I know that I've been hit up by a company called what is it called? Veo, Veyo, Veo Driver, and I just haven't completed it yet. But it's also, I think it's just in Los Angeles, the city of LA, and I live in LA County, so that puts me about 60 miles out of the way. Sherelle drives SoCal. How you doing, sweetheart? You missed all the big rant, but just if you're just joining, Uber is taking away flexibility. Let me see if I can pull it back up again, and I will show you right there. This is for Sherelle Drive SoCal. Look at that. Can you believe that shit? That's what we were talking about. Mark Miranda, thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. Sorry, again, it's kind of hard to see with all the lighting in here, but yeah, this is just unbelievable. And like I said, come tomorrow, this ought to be all over YouTube. So if you guys can share it out, GOAT. That's right. Who said that? GOAT. Mark Miranda. Yeah, Rideshare Professor was working on GOAT. Greatest of all time. That's right. And yeah, he didn't do anything yet. That's right. It was GOAT. That's what it was. And Torsten, Rideshare Professor, got me started on YouTube. He did my very first video. We met in Marina Del Rey. We hit it off day one. And we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but that's what makes our friendship so strong, because I learn from him. I get, and I see his side of things. He learns from me. He sees my side of things, and we can put them together, and it really works out. But Torsten got me started on this whole trip with doing the YouTube and the rideshare, using my medical background and so on and so forth. Payman Ali is in the house. I haven't seen Payman. Man, you haven't been. I haven't seen your name in a live stream in a while. But then again, I haven't done a live stream. just screaming about this, Payman. Check it out. Can you believe that shit? Dara wants to pull this away from us. Oh, is that what he did, Echo? Well, that makes sense. Professor is all about the drivers in California, man. I got to give him that. He really is a voice. He's very opinionated. He's very steadfast in what he believes in, and I follow a lot of the stuff that Torsten does. And like I said, this Monday, if if he says shut your app down and don't work, regardless of whether it's a holiday or if it was just a day, I would do it. I've been trying to push for Uber and Lyft drivers to shut down from noon Friday till noon Sunday. Hit them on the two busiest nights of the week. That would get their attention too. Um, I don't know. I didn't think that under Prop 22 they would be able to take away as much as they have, let alone now go against Prop 22. I honestly believe, now this is just my opinion, of course, but if you take away our flexibility, which Prop 22 was all about, and start giving us schedules, then yeah, and it is a money weekend. But you know what? I'm not hurting enough to go out and let them make $1,000 while I make 200 this weekend. It's just I'm not doing it, and like I said, it's unfortunate because there are drivers out there that this is their only income and this is the only money they could make, and they're being victimized by Uber and Lyft, especially Uber. And I'm not going to discredit them, and I'm not going to tell them stop driving, because maybe they can't. But if you can, then don't drive for a couple days, especially Monday. In order for drivers to have a voice, our voice is the app. Our voice is how many cars are on that app. And if we can show Uber, you know what, you're right, we do have flexibility. We're all going to shut down. We're all taking the day off. Then will it get their attention? Who knows? It could. It probably won't. But you know, um, I know everybody's hiring. Well, it's about time. But I I broke my neck 8 years ago. I'm fused. I have four vertebrae in my neck, so I'm kind of a liability to some insurance companies. That's why I became a life support instructor, because I own my own business. But and I don't want that. Rick Reviews is in the house. What is up, Mr. Rick? Um, got you, Rick. um, there's a lot of things I physically can't do because I have C3, C4, C5, and C6. So I've got four vertebrae that are actually one vertebrae. That means these don't move independently anymore. It's one fused bone now. So I'm kind of stuck, but I'm not going to let that slow me down. There's a ton of different things out there that are opening up again, and I'm sure I will find something that will pay what I used to make before the pandemic and before I had to do rideshare and all that good stuff. So Larry Elliott is in the house. How you doing? Um, if you're just joining, Larry, we're screaming about Uber taking away drivers' flexibility and looking at a scheduling drivers rather than having us um, be able to have our flexibility, because according to Dara Cockroach Shahi, thank you, Brazil show, gotcha. Dara Cockroach Shahi um, is complaining that pickup times are too long. He's complaining that drivers are still taking advantage of the system. Yet, under Prop 22 and all the other stuff, they've taken away our ability to set our own rates. They've taken away the multiplier, obviously. They've lowered our per mile rate. They've lowered our per minute rate. They're charging customers 3 times what the drivers are getting paid. So technically now Uber is taking anywhere between 50 and 80%. And I've done videos where I can prove it. And now they want to say we're putting drivers in California. We're not going to give them the flexibility anymore. We are going to make them drive certain hours. And looking into that, if they do that, yeah, well, Payman, I understand where you're coming from, But yeah, I'm not going online at all this weekend. I'm spending the weekend with family, so it doesn't matter. But I got professors back. I'm not working on Memorial Day. My dad was a Marine, and it's just something that I won't do anyway. But you're right. It's a ploy. Maybe we thought everything else was a ploy, but Uber's ploys turn out to be them taking more and more and more. So um, it's just we're stuck. And like I said, and I get a bunch of people that will comment and say, well, if you don't like it, leave. Well, I'm done. I've already done it. I only go out 2 nights a week at the most, usually Friday and Saturday. I'm not doing this 5 nights a week anymore. I drive a $40,000 car. I'm not driving a $40,000 car for 60 cents a mile. I don't give a shit what the customers are paying. They're not paying me to have that kind of luxury. So, that's what it is. What Sherelle? Let's see. Sadly, I heard that. I was talking with Dark Road Run, and he told me you were the only one that showed up. I was floored. But you're dedicated, and we all love you, Sherelle. Payment Ali says, I'm trying to be less reactive. We should all be directing this momentum towards our favor for the long run. Yeah, you know what, Payment? I absolutely agree. Um, yeah, and Larry, if you can do it, and Sherelle, if you can do it, I mean, pass it around. Don't let Uber take advantage of us. We, especially in California, it's not just California either. It's nationwide. It's everywhere. Drivers, the only way we're going to be heard now is to collectively do something to get Uber's attention. And Uber just keeps taking and taking and taking and expecting more and more and more. And now they're taking away our flexibility and trying to put us on scheduled shifts. You do realize that if Uber puts you on a scheduled shift and you miss one ride, if you refuse one ride during that scheduled shift, they can basically deactivate you. Now, I don't know. I have Cover, and I don't know what they'd be able to do, but if you got to look at it from the point of what they're doing. If they set schedules, meaning they take away our ability to be flexible and sign on and sign off whenever we want, and we have to go under a schedule that's broken up depending on our market, where we work, the areas that we work in. If they give us work schedules, I don't care how you look at that makes you an employee. You are on a schedule. They are delegating the work to you, and they are telling you how much they are going to pay you. That is an employee. Period. Hands down. End of discussion. So, let's see. Let me catch up with this. I don't know if the core issue is voting rights. We had the right to vote, but again, the smoke and mirrors game. They sold us on what we had in our hands on the app, and then took it away. Larry Elliott says they're going to lose more. Yeah, you're right, Larry. I said that earlier. The more they take, the more drivers are going to walk. You start scheduling drivers, they're not going to have a quote unquote workforce at all. And unfortunately, the only drivers that will actually stick around are those that are unfortunately going to get victimized by this company because that's all they have. So you're right. Thanks, Larry and Sherelle for the support. But again, if we lose our flexibility, and Dara Cockroach Shahi, thanks Brazil. That's what we're calling Dara now. It's Dara Cockroach Shahi. They're not getting newbies. They rely on the sign up. Yeah, well, they're not getting newbies because they're not really offering newbies anything. What they should be doing is they should be giving the drivers that have been through it. Now, I worked through the pandemic for the majority of it. I did take some time off. I went on unemployment because of my business and other issues and what have you. But you know the incentive for me to start driving again was being able to set my own rates. That was the big selling point for me to come back. Um, hold on. What? Okay, I got to see. Let's see. Yes, Larry, there is a little bit. Jinx, Larry. Oh, gotcha. All right. Yeah, I started the article. I mean, I don't want to do it again. I was actually going to just do a video and upload it, but I thought I'd go live because I've got to work on my watch hours. But all right, so here you go, guys. If you're for those that are watching, this is the article. It says Uber reneges on the flexibility it gave drivers to win their support for Prop 22. So we'll go over this one just in general. I'll kind of cover it again. Um, yeah, I know. If I've got lag, I'm in an area that's the cell isn't great. So um, let's see. So last year, the ride-hailing service Uber gave its drivers unprecedented control over their fares and working conditions. The goal was to win driver support for Proposition 22, through which Uber and other gig companies aim to rewrite California labor law in the company's favor. The firm's pitch was that the ballot measure would preserve the flexibility in hours and earnings that that their workers valued, and that they said would be threatened unless the labor law was changed. The firm's pitch was that the ballot measure would preserve the flexibility in hours and earnings that their workers valued. Uber reneges on the flexibility. I'm speechless. Dara Cockroach Shahi is probably the dumbest fucking human being on the face of the planet, and I just don't even know where to go with it. So cool. I'll add that link to your local news. That would be awesome, Larry. And I know it's getting late. I'm not wearing my watch. I got my tattoo done, my final tattoo done. I did a live stream on it. I'm very happy, very proud of that one. Semper Paratus, always ready. But I didn't even expect this live to go this long. But I don't have my laptop with me, so I don't have my editing software or anything. But come tomorrow, there's going to be a huge, I'm sure this ought to blow up. So Larry, if you could do that, share the link out on everybody that's watching or is rewatching this. Share this out. Abstract Echo, Larry Elliott, Payment Ali, Sherelle Drive SoCal, uh, Rick, my man. You guys throw this out there. Sorry, Payman. But anyway, get it out there and let people know that that's what's happening. Uber is out. I don't believe it's a ploy. If Uber says that's what they're doing, LA Times Uber. Yes, that's where I got the article. Was LA Times, the Brazil show. Thank you. I don't know. I wanted to get it out there. I'm sure this will blow up by tomorrow, but and everybody's gonna have it out there. I just got this on my way into Camarillo, and I wanted to do a stream on it. So anyway, guys, it's getting late. I'm gonna go join my family. They're having a good time, and I'm missing it. And I'm not gonna let this dickhead not only control what I do on his platform, but he's not gonna ruin my weekend anyway. I'm gonna have a good time. I am going fishing tomorrow with my wife. That's always a good thing, but for some reason she always seems to beat me in the number of fish caught when we go fishing. So I may go live tomorrow from Channel Islands Harbor, and I'll set up the tripod, and you guys can watch us go fishing. You can watch some of the boats in the ocean and all the other stuff. So until tomorrow, you guys be safe, be professional, keep it real, and if you must, drive on. I will see you all. Thank you very much for joining the live stream, letting me rant. Again, if you missed it, just go to the beginning, and the first 5 minutes are basically the article, and there was a lot more left. But Monday, shut your apps off. Take the day off and enjoy it. So until next time, everybody, thank you all for joining me, and I wish you all the best of health. Have a wonderful Memorial weekend.